Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. On this episode of the DNA Whiskey Review, we will be reviewing
Buffalo Trace.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about this distillery, why I get this bottle open for, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Buffalo Trace Distillery is located in Frankfort, Kentucky. The distillery is currently owned by the Sazerac Company, who purchased the company in 1992. It has been historically known by several names, including the George T. Stagg Distillery and the Old Fire Company, or OFC Distillery. The namesake bourbon brand, the Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, was introduced in August of 1999. The name Buffalo Trace refers to the ancient Buffalo Track way that crosses the Kentucky River in Franklin County, Kentucky. During Prohibition, the distillery was allowed to remain operational in order to make whiskey for medicinal purposes. Everyone loves some medicinal purposes for whiskey. And in 2016, the Buffalo Trace Distillery announced plans to expand operations with a capital investment of $200 million. In October, during the renovations, they were working on converting a building into a meeting and event space, and workers discovered the foundation of the 1873 distillery building, which burned down in 1882. So
Really?
pretty cool. They found the original foundation and actually some remains of fermenters from that same year. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Production capacity at Buffalo Trace is estimated at 2,650,000 US gallons of whiskey per year. The Buffalo Trace Distillery is mainly known for its bourbon, but it also produces spirits such as rye whiskey and vodka.
How we like to do our whiskey reviews here on the channel is what we're going to do is we're going to try it neat, and we're going to go over the flavor profiles and everything like that. And then we'll try it on ice and kind of give you our feedback on that. The whiskey is Kentucky Straight Bourbon, 90 proof. It's aged for a minimum of 8 years, and it's charred in oak barrels. The mash bill is not disclosed by the distillery. It is stated, though, however, on their website that it's less than 10% rye. For those of you who are new to whiskey and don't know what I'm talking about there, in order for it to be classified as a bourbon, the mash bill has to be 51% corn. The remainder of that can be made up of wheat, barley, or rye, and does need to be aged a minimum of 4 years in virgin white oak barrels. Let's go ahead and take our first whiff here. On the nose, we're supposed to be smelling a bit of aroma of vanilla, caramel, mint, and molasses.
The vanilla and caramel are very distinct. It's the very first thing I smelled was vanilla and caramel. Absolutely.
Second sniff, I can see the mint. If you let it linger, like on the back of your tongue, you can, on that sniff, you can have that minty.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. Yeah, you get a little bit of that minty on the back of your tongue. See, and I got some molasses on my second sniff.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit sweeter.
I think it's spot on, man. On the nose, I think they're dead on when it comes to their description on this one.
Yeah.
The color is supposed to be a deep amber, got nice legs there to it.
It smells great. It's very easy on the nose. All of the scents are very crisp and very clean. It smells fantastic.
Yeah. And you know when you sniff, you're supposed to have your mouth open, by the way.
Oh, really?
You know that? I don't know how the hell you do that.
I struggle to pull air through my nose with my mouth open, but I believe you.
Yeah, so before we dive in there, on the palate there, we're supposed to have sweet notes of brown sugar toffee, which will give way to oak, dark fruits with a bit of baking spice and anise. Is what we're supposed to get on that flavor profile.
Excellent.
So let's go ahead and first see if we get, the brown sugar and the toffee on the first draw, shall we?
Yep.
All right. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you guys.
Okay, so I'm not detecting the toffee.
No, I don't get any toffee there.
Definitely getting the brown sugar. That's very pronounced. It's very like you just stick your head in that bag, man. Just took a nice old whiff.
Yep.
It's very okay. The toffee's coming in, but it wasn't the first thing on that. It definitely was the sugar profile. It's supposed to give away to some of that oaky taste and some dark fruits. I don't know if I'm picking that up. What are you sensing over there?
I feel like I'm getting, like you said, as that brown sugar kind of dissipated, I felt like I could really taste the toffee coming in. Mm-hmm. Now that the toffee's going away, it's nothing that I can recognize. Okay. I wouldn't say dark fruits.
Now the finish is supposed to be mellow yet complex with a lingering notes of vanilla, oak, and rock candy.
I don't even know what rock candy tastes like.
It's kind of basically just sugar crystallized into on a stick.
Okay.
That's basically what it is. Yeah, I'm not really tasting that, but let's go ahead and go in for our second draw there and see if we can discover anything new.
I got a little more toffee right out the gate that time.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I
Yeah.
did taste the toffee a little bit more. The brown sugar and toffee was kind of like it felt like was like it was kind of competing for the space there.
Yes.
On the
That's a
first
great
part.
way to describe it, actually.
Still not getting the dark fruits though. I'm still not.
No, because now
Tasting
that
that.
it's kind of cleared, I'm still like majority toffee is what I'm tasting.
Yeah. I do get the spices though. I am tasting a little bit.
Yeah,
of
a
that
little
on the back
spice
end,
for
so
sure. Yeah.
as we finish on that one, I do kind of get the complex finish though, but I'm not sensing any notes of vanilla. Definitely can sense the oak.
See, and I get a little vanilla because
Okay.
if you go with vanilla, it's not ice cream vanilla, right? This is just a vanilla flavoring.
Right. Kind of like more like a vanilla bean than it is.
Yes, exactly. And I can absolutely taste that hard vanilla flavor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what the oak is more in the it's lingering in the nose from on the nose the nose there. And I think that's where it's
I agree.
coming from. So I gotta say I absolutely love it. Now what's really funny about this whiskey is that this is kind of like your common pour. Most people use this as their daily pour. There's really kind of 3 types of whiskeys you want to have in your collection.
Yep.
One is your daily pour, one is your weekend pour, and one is your special occasion pour.
Yep.
This is typically what most people would see as their daily pour. We unfortunately don't have that option
Because we live in Utah.
we live in Utah, and this stuff is kind of rare around here, which is ironic because these people make something called Eagle Rare, which is definitely one I want to get my hands on so we can review it. So yeah, this is quite common everywhere else. This is a common pour, but from here, like we get it, like you get a couple of boxes per liquor store every couple of months.
Yeah. And we wanted to make sure we took the time and reviewed it with you guys. So make sure you let us know what you think.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. If you joined us for our little taste test there on that, what did you think of Buffalo Trace? Are you with us on that, where some of these notes really didn't kind of just jump out at you like they were expecting? I mean, a lot of this is just marketing, right? They can throw in a bunch of taste notes. If you're new to sampling whiskey and you're new to tasting it, a lot of it's going to be referring back to flavors. Like if you tasted this whiskey and then you referred back to it on, you taste something else and you refer back to the taste, something will remind you of this whiskey that you had before.
Right.
And that's kind of something what you're going to do there. So with that said here, we do also want to follow that up with taste test with it on ice. So we have another pour of that's been sitting for about 5-10 minutes there with
Probably about
ice,
12 minutes.
about 12 minutes sitting there with an ice cube in it. We like to do the large ice cubes there for the best taste profile. That way it kind of gives us a little bit of ice and a little bit of chill there.
We definitely got to cheers this one too.
Absolutely. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's on the money, dude.
Yeah.
That is on the ice. That is
Okay.
perfect.
So on the ice, I definitely noticed a few things right up front. I think putting on the ice kind of mellows a lot. That's typically what happens. It mellows it.
Yeah.
So it gives you a chance to really kind of taste those other flavors. So vanilla is very, very strong. The molasses is very, very strong as well.
Yep.
I think those dark fruits did kind of expand for me a little bit. I'm tasting a little bit of a kind of like a blackberry and a little bit of pear. Honestly, I think it's the toffee. You and I didn't notice the toffee the first go around.
Right.
Is that what you're picking up there?
I don't know. It is different on ice than it is just straight.
Astonishingly different on
Yeah.
ice than it is.
It is crazy different, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. What's your preferred way? Do you prefer it neat or do you prefer it on ice?
I think I prefer it on ice. I think I like the way that I mean, I like it chilled because obviously just hanging out, I think it's a little bit more refreshing to drink a nice cool drink. But
That's your preferred way to drink whiskey is on ice?
absolutely. But I did very much enjoy the flavors that we got from just drinking it neat.
Yeah, I do think you need to experience it that way
You do.
first.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get a better understanding of the whiskey itself before you move on to like anything like putting water in it, a splash of water, or adding ice, which is basically when we leave it sitting for like we did. Kind of did a little bit of both. I agree with you there. This one is better on ice than it is, not necessarily better, but I enjoy it more on ice than I would neat. It opens up those secondary flavor profiles that we did not catch on the first part there. I do think every time I crack this bottle or get a new bottle, I do think I will be tempted to have the first dram neat.
Yeah.
And then
And kind of enjoy some of those flavor profiles that you're not going to get once you put it over ice.
yeah, and then continue with the rest of the bottle over ice. I agree with you. I think that's probably the best way to do that. Yeah, I don't know. What's your overall rating on this one? Is it on the shelf or is it not on the shelf?
Oh, this is absolutely on the shelf for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean it is very easy to drink. It does finish really nicely. I do like the flavor all the way through. It does It does give you that nice brown sugar after. Yeah, no, I would say this is definitely an on the shelf. And I mean, this is something you could use for an everyday pour if we could obviously get a hold of it.
Yeah.
This would be a fantastic everyday pour type of whiskey because of the way that flavor clears. So
yeah, for me, I think for us in Utah, this would probably be a weekender, just simply because of how rare it is for us here in Utah.
Just getting a hold of it.
But yeah, absolutely, I'd have to agree with you there. Let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think. If you've tried Buffalo Trace, have you tried it both of these ways there? They did put on their website that it is also good in cocktails. I don't know if I'd go that route with this one. I do think it's much better neat or on the rocks when it comes to that.
Make sure you guys leave us a comment down below. Let us know what else you want us to try out.
Once again, folks, this has been an episode of the DNA Whiskey Review. If you are new to this channel, please feel free to subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and we look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Until then,
cheers.